Okay, guys, so at this point, you have done circles part 1, where you measured things around the house, and I gave you some measurements of my own. And you've done circles part 2, where we figured out that circumference over diameter equals pi. So now we're going to do the last part of circles, which is talking about the area of a circle. Now, in the past, we've talked about area, on a grid, such as this. And let me make a shape. You loved this. This was your favorite part, right? And you had to figure out area inside of this little house shape. You counted the squares in here, and you counted the squares in here. And we learned that for a triangle, the area of the triangle is half the area of the rectangle around it. We made sandwiches. And so you would have made a rectangle around this triangle, and half of the area of that rectangle is the area of the triangle. But now we're dealing with a different size shape. So we're dealing with a circle. Quite different. So I'm going to aim the camera down, and we're going to talk about it and do a quick activity. Okay, so let me turn the camera upside down. Okay, and erase this house. All right, so the first thing, if we did just the length and width of this plate. So if we do, it looks to be right here. If we do length, oops, just joking, right here, would this be the area of the plate if we multiplied length times width? And the answer is no. It would not be the area of the plate, because look at all these squares out here that we would have said is the area of the plate when it's not. The area of the plate is just if I color this plate with this marker, how much did I color? Now on the plate, it's important to note, let me turn the plate, well, I'll leave the plate like this, that this, the length of it is the diameter. So if I do diameter times diameter, would that be the area of the plate? And the answer is no. So over here, area equal diameter times diameter, which is diameter squared, and that is not the area of the plate. So let me turn it upside down. So it is not diameter squared. That is too much. Too much. Okay, let's try it a different way. What about, that's not going to work. What about if instead I cut this stinking plate in half? So I'm going to cut it in half. And if you were in class, this is what you would have done. And I did this for area. Let me raise it up so you can see it. Well, the length of this would be 2 diameters. So the length would be 2 diameters. Here we go. What would the width be? How wide is it? Well, this is how wide it is. And that is the radius. But if I multiply those together, let me turn this around so you can see. If I multiply these together, this would still not be the area, because look at all this space that would be within that. It's still too much. So we're going to have to do a different way. Okay. Bear with me, we're almost there. What if I cut it into 4? Still same problem. Okay, this isn't working. What if I cut it into 8? And that's what I did here. Now, What if I did this and I put these 8 all along like this? Okay, there's another, and another, and one more over here. Well, how long would that be? How long? Well, I'm going to use my red string, and I would go around the outside edge of this. Well, if you look at it, it's going around all of these edges. What is that called when I go around all of the edges? So I want you to think about it while I turn this over. So the length around all of the edges is the circumference, right? And the circumference is pi times d. Okay, so, but that's not going to work. Look at all this stinking space in between. What if I did this, though? Kind of like a little piece. Turn this over so it'll fit even better. Can y'all see? It's going good. Going good. So look at that. That almost has no gaps at all. Y'all see it? Almost no gaps. So, but we need to multiply. So it's almost a rectangle. And if I cut it into 8 pieces, if I cut a paper plate into 16, it would be even better. So we need to multiply, because it's a rectangle, we need to multiply length times width. Let's scoot this over here. Okay, length times width. And that will fit into this perfect little rectangle, and that will give us the area. Okay, now let me turn this around. What is the length? Well, if I went around all of the edges, that was pi times d, or the circumference. But this I cut in half. So my length of this is half of oh my gosh, 5/2, half of the circumference. Okay, which is half of pi times diameter, which is just pi times the radius, because half of the diameter is the radius. Now the width is this distance right here. See it right here? This distance between my fingers. Well, that's how tall one of these slices of pizza is. And how tall is that? Well, that's the distance from the middle to the outside edge, which is called the radius. So the width is r. So the last thing, area is length times width, which is going to be pi r times r, which is pi r squared. So the area of a paper plate is pi r squared, always. So let me turn that over so you can see that. Okay, and compare it. So to go back over, so the area of a circle, if you cut up a circle into a bunch of pieces and line them up like this, they will all form a rectangle. And the area of a rectangle is length times width. So our length of our rectangle is half the distance around the circle, which is pi times r, circumference. And then our width of our circle is just the radius of the circle, so r. So our area is length times width, pi r times r, so pi r squared. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. So if I told you that the radius, here's the middle of the circle, the radius of this circle is 3, I don't know, miles. And you were having to do a search party and figure out how much area you were going to have to cover if this was a piece of land, then your area, let me do it with the pen so you can see it a little better. So your area would be pi times 3 miles squared, which is 9 pi square miles, which is, let's put that in a calculator. Okay, so I'll go back and I'll put 9 pi. So it's 28.27. So this would be 28.27 square miles. Okay, so in order to search this entire area, you would have to search 28.27 square miles. Okay, so the area of a circle is pi r squared. Right. So make sure you can see me. Okay, so we are done with circles. This completes it. I will upload this to YouTube and I will send you some further instructions. So we've made it through. Have a good day and I will talk to you later. Bye. Well, maybe we won't say bye. Now I'm saying bye. Bye.